Hello you beautiful people and welcome back to another battle commentary. Yes, it's been a while since I've done one of these and I know how popular they are, but you know what, I decided we've got a new DLC coming out, so I thought I should showcase some of these fantastic new units for you, and believe me, they are fantastic. Going against me in this series of battles, because yes, this is a series of 3 battles in one day, because I hate myself apparently. Going against me in this series of battles is Sakeo, who is a Spanish Total War YouTuber, so you know, if you speak Spanish or if you're learning Spanish and you also, you know, like Total War, then it might be worth checking out his channel. I'll obviously pop a link in the description to that so you can find it. So first up in this series of battles, I am playing as the Heralds of Ariel, which is the new Wood Elves faction being added with the Twisted and the Twilight DLC. They are led by these Sisters of Twilight on their beautiful dragon mount, who actually has a unique name that I constantly forget. She's been assisted by Queen Ariel herself, because if you didn't know, Queen Ariel is now a spellcaster in Total War. And it's pretty bananas, man. I'm not going to lie to you, she's really good. For my front line, I decided to bring 3 units of Blade Singers, which are the new infantry units. They are being backed up by some new Zotes, which are the new monster units. On the right-hand flank here, I have some of the new Cav units, which are the Great Stag Knights, and also the Regiment of Renown Lost Sylvian Knights, which are basically the same thing, but ethereal and do magical attacks, so they're pretty spicy indeed. And of course, it wouldn't be the Wood Elves without any ranged units, so I have some Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards. Over in the red corner, we have Clan Mulder, and of course, when you're playing the Skaven, what do you need? A lot of Skaven slaves. So he has a buttload of Skaven slaves and a single unit of Storm Vermin. He is, of course, being led by the new legendary lord, Throt the Unclean, dismounted just with his 3 arms and a lot of ass to kick. He's also being assisted by Gorich, which is his legendary hero, which, if you don't know, by the way, is a Norse berserker inside the body of a mutant rat ogre. So that's pretty terrifying if you ask me. He is being backed up by 2 units of Rattling Guns, and there are also 2 units of Rat Ogres at the back here. And then over on the left-hand flank, right at the back, we have a Mutant Rat Ogre, which is another one of the new units. We have the Morsk's Helling, which is the Regiment of Renown of the Mutant Rat Ogre. We have more Rat Ogres. We have the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep, which are the new Regiment of Renown Rat Ogres. We have a Packmaster, which is the new hero type for Clan Mulder. On top of the Brood Horror Mounts, which is another new unit being added with the DLC, and a couple of Wolf Rats Poison, which are yet another unit being added with this DLC. Yes, we are getting a lot with this DLC. Now, let's kick off this battle right away. Now, obviously, because, you know, I'm playing the Wood Elves, I'm just trying to move up my Deepwood Scouts to get some shots off as he runs up to me. Now, I don't want to be shooting at his Skaven slaves, because we all know that is a waste of money. Shooting at Skaven slaves is honestly so pointless. You are just wasting your ammo. Literally anything can kill Skaven slaves, anything at all. So instead, I've decided to focus most of my attention on the Rattling Guns and also Gorich, because this boy can absolutely shred infantry if he gets into close quarters. So yeah, I'm not going to let him do that. Unfortunately, my Deepwood Scouts, in trying to get in range of the Rattling Guns have got in range of them, so they are starting to feel the pain. There we go, 1/3 of their health, half of their health, disappearing in a single, well, a couple of volleys, I suppose. Yet to move my cavalry. I have just moved them up into these forests to hide them again. Those units aren't actually hidden. That's not good. Didn't realise that in the battle. Whoopsie days. That's probably why they were so easy to spot. Queen Ariel herself has moved up. She's not going to be casting any spells just yet. As you can see on the left-hand side here, yeah, he did a big flank. I didn't see it coming, and I'm about to feel the pain. So yeah, there's a load of Wolf Rats and Packmasters and everything moving behind me, and I did not notice at all. One thing I did think, which I was quite proud of honestly, is Blade Singers are fantastic against infantry. They have physical resistance, which you can't see because it won't let me click on them, but they have it, trust me. Which basically means that if a unit isn't doing magical damage, it's not really feeling much of the pain, and especially against Skaven slaves, they are never going to kill them. But these guys have pounds and pounds and pounds and tons and tons and tons of anti-infantry damage. So send them against these Skaven slaves. They can take 2 units of Skaven slaves on easily. I mean, Throt the Unclean's there, but, you know, we'll just send in Queen Ariel to assist. Oh my god, a fantastic volley. Look at that, gorgeous from the Wood Elves. Their effects are honestly so beautiful. So yes, I sent 1 unit of Blade Singers into the middle to take on the 2 units, which actually ended up being 1 unit because the Clan Rats managed to get away, but, you know, you live and learn with these things. Another unit is going off to the left to fight against the Storm Vermin with Sword and Shield, who's getting attacked in the back by the Clan Rats, but as I said, physical resist, no magical damage, so they should be just fine. I mean, Gorich is coming in, so that's going to hurt, but they'll be fine, don't worry. And then on the right here, just more Clan Rats and Skaven slaves fighting against these guys, so they should have a wonderful time of it. Now, just moving in my cav, they actually get pinned down by some Skaven slaves, but, you know, it's no worries. The Skaven slaves, they're not going to do anything. They're going to do like 2 damage and then probably break. So I'm just trying to move them away just so I can use them a little bit later on. I need to do some of the Sisters of Twilight. They kind of just stood around firing at things. Now the Deepwood Scouts have been pushed upon by all of these fast-moving units, and at this point I was just like, well, that's it. That's over for me. I've lost all my ranged. And I know with this new Wood Elf update, to be fair to them, the Wood Elves are no longer so focused on range, but losing 3 units of Deep Wood Scouts, that is a lot of firepower to lose. And I was very upset about that. But we'll see if they manage to come back. Oh, a beautiful volley coming off from the Sisters of Twilight right there. If you don't know, by the way, they can fire in 2 separate firing modes, kind of like a Reaper Bolt Thrower. So they can fire a single high damage shot, or they can fire multiple lower damage shots, and they are the lower multiple damage shots. They're the lower damage multiple shots there, and they still do a buttload of damage. But they just look so damn cool. You can see we easily won the middle fight and also the left-hand fight over here, so I'm just kind of trying to move my units around and get deeper into enemy lines. As you can see, I tried to charge in with my Lost Sylvan Knights and also the Great Stag Knights into these Rattling Guns, but I was unsuccessful. I managed to get pinned down by a couple of units of Rat Ogres, which again, the Great Sylvan Knights can take on quite easily. But I don't want to leave them in because it isn't really their best use. We can see here that Queen Ariel and the Blade Singers and the Zotes are all closing in on Throat the Unclean, and he is getting bullied, especially by Ariel's awesome abilities, if I do say so. The Blade Singers here just kind of finishing off these Storm Vermin Sword and Shield. Yes, they have less health, but, you know, physical resist, no magical damage. You do the maths. So a couple of units of my Deepwood Scouts have managed to come back. He somehow managed to focus all of his units on one, so that's very lucky for me. I just start trying to move them back because I know they're really low health, and if they get attacked by one thing, they are going to shatter almost immediately, but I want to get some value out of them before that happens. Now the Rattling Guns here firing a bunch of bullets into Ariel and the Zotes and everything that's in this area, and I am feeling the pain. So I decide, you know what, time for the Sisters of Twilight to get in there and do some melee fighting, and look at them. That Dragon Mount is bad ass. It's so damn cool, and yeah, no question of it, the Rattling Guns are retreating. They are terrified. I mean, wouldn't you be? Look at this thing, it's terrifying. It's got a massive tail, it's got huge wings, it's got big teeth. Yeah, no thank you. The Great Stag Knights finally managing to get into these Rattling Guns while also chasing down some Aragos. They are shattered, so they are never coming back. Gorich is actually getting rooted over here. He's being chased down by a load of Zotes, Blade Singers, and of course Queen Ariel. The Lost Silver Knights and some Blade Singers, they're just vibing. They just stood out here vibing, aka I forgot to do anything with them. JK, they're actually finishing off some Rat Ogres, and I believe just by moving them away, these guys decide to come back, so I'm like, oh, fine, I'll just send the Blade Singers to deal with you guys, and then I'll just send the Sylvan Knights off to run down some units. Now, the Sister of Twilight, there we are. That's that focus shot that does a bunch of damage to single entities. So, Throat the Unclean, he is feeling the burn. Of course, he has regeneration because he's a slimy little rat. But nevertheless, he's going to have to regenerate very, very, very damn quickly if he wants to get back in this fight. I'm pretty much just chasing down all of his high-value units over here. So, you know, I'm chasing down the Rattling Guns. They can do a lot of damage to my flying units. I'm chasing down Gorich. You know, Moskstad's Hellion's getting in here, but he's been focused by Great Stag Knights and also the Sister of Twilight, and now the Lost Silver Knights. So yeah, he's not going to do too well. Throat the Unclean, he's just trying to make his way through these woods. Gorich also being chased down. He's got 664 health left. He is not coming back in any capacity. Throat looking like he's getting his leadership back. Let's nip that in the bud. Let's send some Great Stag Knights. Don't mind if I do. Now, over here, he did actually manage to chase these guys down and round them again, but he didn't finish them off. These guys just decided to shout for no apparent reason. Rude. But these guys, the Deepwood Scouts, they are shaken. They are tired. They have sustained damage. But you know what? They're not giving up. They are moving back into this fight. They're getting involved. Over on the back lines here, my Blade Singers just finished off those Rat Ogres, and the only things that they have left to take on are Skating Slaves and Clan Rats, and as I said, they can eat those for breakfast. Now, the majority of the fast enemy units that were in my back lines have now decided to attack the Lost Silver Knights, and I have no doubt that the Lost Silver Knights could do just fine against these lads, but I don't really want to leave them in there because it's not really the best use. They'll just get pinned down by a lot of entities and take more damage than they need to, so I decided to bring these guys over here to bring in the Blade Singers to help them, and also, you know, finish off those Skating Slaves and bolster their stats a little bit. Now in the backlines over here, we've managed to root pretty much all the enemy units. Throughout he's still run away, but he's going to come back in just a few seconds. Look at his leadership. There's no chance he's running off at that. The Mutant Rat Ogre is fighting a singular Great Stag Knight, and the Great Stag Knight is just basically wearing down these Rattling Guns, waiting for him to root. Now we can see that Throt has come back, and the Great Stag Knight's just kind of mincing around, not really doing anything. Should probably focus on that Rat Ogre or Throt, you know, one or the other, take him out. But the majority of the final battle is going to take place in these woods over here. Sorry, I keep holding spacebar, it's a bad habit. The Packmaster coming in to attack my Lost Silver Knights for that bonus. Oh, it doesn't have bonus versus large on that mount. Well, the more you know. Oh my god, fantastic volley from the Sister of Twilight right there. Doing so much damage to that Packmaster. Down on top of the Sylvanian Lost Silver Knights. I can speak, I promise. that top of the Sylvan Knight's damage is going to send him packing in no time. The Blade Singer is just trying to chase down the last of the Wolf Rats with poison. You know, they might be anti-infantry, but Wolf Rats with poison are tiny units, so they'll get annihilated. The Zotes are now getting in range of the Packmaster. Well, in range, I suppose. Yeah, in melee. You know what I'm sticking with? In range. They're in melee. It makes sense to me. All right, and yeah, these guys do bonus versus large and armor piercing and are incredible. And yeah, he is not going to last too long, especially with Queen Ariel also attacking him, especially with the Sisters Twilight also firing upon him. And pretty much all that the enemy has left right now is Throt the Unclean, the Mutant Rat Ogre, and that's pretty much it. You know, he's got a couple of units of Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves scattered around the map, but that's all really he has left. He just has his Lord, a monster, and then some chaff. And I have the majority of my elite units. You know, I may have lost a lot of my ranged units, but I still have Queen Ariel, I still have the Sister Twilight, and I still have one unit of Cav and the Zotes, and a couple of units of my infantry, and that should be more than enough to take these guys out. So I'm like, you know what, we just need to finish this right now. The Zotes are going in, they are actually chasing the Packmaster, well, they're going to get intercepted by the Mutant Rat Ogre, which will prove to be a terrible decision for him, because bonus versus large, armor piercing, single entity, and with a shot like that from the Sister Twilight, yeah, he is going down quickly. The Blade Singer's also getting in. You know, they might not be the best versus this guy, but they still do pretty good armor piercing damage, so I'm going to let him do it. Oh my god, the Sisters of Twilight just landed on Throt the Unclean there. Or was it on the Pack? I think they were aiming for the Packmaster, actually. And with a charge like that, he is not going to last very long. Now, Throt is actually attacking these Sisters in the back, and he does have a bonus versus large as well as fantastic arm piercing damage, so they will take a lot of damage if they're not careful. And they're, in fact, getting focused by pretty much everything in this little clump right here. But when you have this much backup coming for you, you know, you don't really need to be too worried. There's nothing that this guy can do at this point. Especially with the Great Stag Knights charging from the back. Yep, there we go. Army losses, and I take the victory. Very, very, very good game. I really enjoyed this battle. It was really close. Like, when he charged my back line at the start, I was like, I am screwed. There is no way I can come back from this. I lost all my ranged, but, you know, I just persevered. I pushed through, and I made it through his lines, took out his range, and I was like, okay, we're even now. And then my range managed to come back, just a unit of them, but goddamn, they came back. So, yeah, great game. I really enjoyed this one. Now, another new thing with this patch, by the way, if you didn't catch this, by the way, this is all explained in the Wood Elf rework overview, so go and watch that video if you have not already. It came out on the 20th, so 4 days ago now. But now, when we hover over the kill count, it also shows you the damage dealt as well as the damage value. And the damage value is basically... I don't know how to explain it other than you basically did this much damage in gold to the enemy. So say you took out an entire unit of Skaven Slaves, you did 150 gold's worth of damage. So, you know, the more expensive units you're attacking and the more damage you deal to them, the more value you're going to get. So as you can see here, the Blade Singer has 270 kills with nearly 19,000 damage dealt, but their damage value is 1,105 because they were fighting Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats, and they are not worth anything. So, yeah, you really want to pick your tags. I mean, they did a fantastic job. They got rid of a lot of the enemy's units, so I'm very happy with that, even though they didn't get much technical value. They got a lot of on-the-table value, I suppose I'll call it. These guys must have been the one fighting the Stormvermin because they only have 5,752 damage dealt, but they have 934 damage value, which means they're attacking something that is a lot higher value than Skaven Slaves to have that much value with that little damage. With these guys, they're kind of in the middle of the road, you know, quite a bit of damage done with quite a lot of kills for that little damage, actually. That is remarkable. And, you know, 932 damage value, not too bad. Queen Ariel, of course, 22,000 damage. She is incredible. She might be the best unit that we've got in this update. I'm not going to lie to you, Chief. She's fantastic, honestly. The Sisters of Twilight, God, 22,000. I can't get over it. 22,000 damage, nearly 3,000 damage value. That is a massive hit. I mean, we're playing on Ultra Frenzy because, you know, why not? But that is a massive hit to his budget. Sisters of Twilight, nearly 15,000 damage dealt, over 3,200 damage value. So, again, these guys were absolutely slaughtering those high value units. They were attacking Gorich, they were attacking the Packmaster, they were attacking Throt. Anything that was a single entity that was large, I had them attacking because their attacks do so much freaking damage. Yes, they are remarkable against infantry, but single target damage with those focused piercing shots, beautiful. As for the Deepwood Scouts, you know, not too bad actually. You know, 11,000 damage, 6,000 damage, 6,000 damage, but not too much value because most of the time they're shooting at like Wolf Rats or Skaven Slaves on their way back, so not too bad. But to say they got charged and the majority of them died, I'd say that's pretty good, honestly, Chief. The Great Stag Knights, 102 kills. I think this is the first battle I've ever used Cav correctly, so can we just get a big hype in chat because that is pretty amazing. Nearly 15,000 damage dealt, 2,000 damage value. So again, a hefty amount of budget there, but not as hefty as the Lost Silver Knights with 21,355 damage dealt, over 2,300 damage value. Massive hits to the budget there. And our final unit is the Zotes with only 9,000 damage, but 1,500 damage value. So even though they didn't do too much damage, they were attacking high value targets, as I keep mentioning. Moving on to Clan Mulder now. Throt the Unclean, 2,228 damage. Without his mount, to be honest with you, he's good without his mount, but, you know, against units like this, you know, big units that can toss him around and do a lot of damage to him in a very short period of time, he really does need it to bring up his value. I mean, that's not bad value by any means to say he's a Footlord, but it could have been a lot better if he had his mount, if you ask me personally. The Packmaster, a bit more of a support unit, but wasn't his Broodhorror mount, so he must have just got annihilated. I suppose he did. He got focused, and then the only thing he was charging was the Deep-Root Scouts, and that was spread between like 5 different units. Gorich, of course, lots of damage dealt, but he did get focused down very quickly, so he could have done so much more. Like, Gorich can do 10,000 to 20,000 damage easily if you let him, but I didn't let him, so I'm very pleased with that. Of course, the Game Slayer's barely any value there. 382 on the older Storm Vermin Sword and Shield. Not too shabby, not too shabby. The Rattling Guns, there we go, 1,000 damage value apiece because they were shooting my Deepwood Scouts, as was everything apparently. 20 kills each, that's pretty symmetrical. Wow, that is very symmetrical, goddamn. But yes, I managed to take them out before they got too much value. They could have annihilated the Sister of Twilight if I'd let them keep firing for that entire battle, which is why I didn't. The Wolf Rats, as you can see here, yep, they took out my Deepwood Scouts, about 1,000 value between them, which is roughly the cost of all the health that's missing from them. So yeah, they get the majority of the damage value from those kills. So what I'm saying though, by the way, Wolf Rats, fantastic unit. That type of unit, the Warhound type of unit that can chase down enemy ranged units like that, they are fantastic. They mop up kills so quickly, especially against units that are weaker than them. So I'm very excited to have a go with them. The Rat Ogres, not too bad, you know, 714, 196. I think those guys must have got focused on, must have been at the back, not really doing much, you know, apart from tagging my Deepwood Scouts, of course. 523 on Mozkatars. Now that's Pit Fights of Hell's Deep, I wish I could read. That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, they were also attacking my backline, so, you know, not too much value, but they did, again, take out my entire backline. The Mutant Rat Ogre with 1,110 damage value. That guy was in the front lines the whole time, so he did a lot of damage to my Blade Singers. I think that's where he got the majority of his value. And our final unit is Mozkatars Hellion, which is, of course, the Mutant Rat Ogre. Only 456 damage value, but I think it was kind of getting chased around the majority of that battle, so not too bad at all. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. You gotta press that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, by the way, because I'm doing one on Clan Mulder and then one on the Wargrove of Woe in the next 2 hours. So this video should have come out at 3 PM. So at 4 PM, you'll get a Clan Mulder battle commentary, and then at 5 PM, you'll get a Wargrove of Woe battle commentary, if I'm behaving myself and doing all my work, which I should be. But yes, be sure to subscribe if you want to catch up with that. And also, we've got a bunch of videos coming out on the channel in the coming days and weeks. We have 3 of the campaign overviews coming in the next 3 days. And then on the 1st of December, we've got a review for this DLC coming out. And it should be pretty epic. So yeah, subscribe for that. I would appreciate it oh so very much. One more huge thank you to Ora del Socao. Again, Spanish Talk War YouTuber. Links in the description. Check him out, please. I would appreciate it very much. Tell him that I sent you there. And that would be absolutely superb. Yes, thank you very much for watching. For now, I've been COLONELDAMNEDERS, and I'll see you next turn.